Hi, this is Leanne at Complete Payroll. Welcome to Payroll Country. Today we're going to take a look at adding or adjusting time off accruals for your employees. Now, time off accruals must first be set up at the company level. This video is going to demonstrate adding and adjusting employee time off for a company that currently has this benefit set up at the company level. If you need to have accruals set up, please contact your dedicated customer service rep. To create a new accrual record or change a accrual record for an employee, we're going to start by clicking on the employee button on the left, and then we're going to go to time off accrual in our pop-up window. Here I will see a list of all my employees from the Browse tab, and I'll just select the employee that I want to use from this list and click on the Details tab. To begin, we're going to create a new accrual record. The first step is to click on the green plus at the top of the screen to create our new record. And now I'm going to go down into the detail box, and from the type window, I'm going to click on the drop down and select the type of accrual benefit that I want to use. So I'm going to select vacation. Next, I can enter in a current accrued amount. So if this is a balances only or count down accrual benefit, I could enter in the amount of hours that the employee has to use for the remainder of the year. And then if the employee has used any time prior to this being set up in the software, I could actually enter in the amount that has been used. And if not, then the next item I'm going to do is just enter in a reason. So this is going to be a new setup, and I'll just enter that reason. And I can go ahead and click on the green check mark to save my change and the small green check mark to commit my change. Now, if this was an accrual that has a true accrual where I'm accruing a certain amount of time per pay period or per month, I would not have to enter in a amount under my current accrued because I probably start at 0 and then I accrue per pay period. If I want to add multiple accruals, I can click on the green plus again, and now under type, I'm going to add sick time. And perhaps this is a smaller amount, so I'm going to just enter in those hours. Again, if I wanted to enter in time that has already been used, I could do so. And so let's say in this example, this employee has used 8 hours of sick time. Now you notice because I'm still on the same record, I still have that reason that is in the reason window, so I can actually just keep that, or I can change that. And then when I'm satisfied with the change, I'll click the check mark and the small green check mark. You'll notice in the sick time benefit where I entered in 40 hours accrued and 8 hours used, that leaves me a balance of 32 hours. You can see that information here in the detail box, and you can also see it in the summary grid up above. We have our balance accrued and used. Now, if an employee already has time that they've been earning and I want to make an adjustment, let's say this employee had 80 hours and we forgot to enter in 3 days of vacation pay in their last payroll. Instead of clicking the green plus to create a new record, I'm just going to edit the current record. So here my current accrued is 80, but the employee used 24 hours that we forgot to enter in a payroll. So I'm going to enter in the 24 hours under used. I'm going to enter in a reason, missed in last payroll. And then I'm going to click on the green check mark and the small green check mark to save my change. Notice that I did not change the balance by entering a number in the current balance window. The balance only changes when you make a change to the current accrued or current used, as it is a calculated total between those two items. There may be certain circumstances when we might want to do an override in our time off accrual for an employee. In this case, under overrides window, we have some items that we can use. We have Accrual Maximum. So this would be when an employee is allowed to accrue more than your company policy. You would enter in the number of hours that they are allowed to accrue. The rate window is when the employee is going to accrue at a different rate than your policy notes. And something to keep in mind is that if your company policy has your accrual rates in a tier structure, perhaps after 1 year they get so many hours, then 2 years, 3 years, this override rate is going to override that tier structure as well. The next override item is the effective date. And this is, again, a special circumstance where you want the employee to accrue at a different rate based on their hire date. So maybe this is an employee that has been rehired and negotiated to have their time off be effective from their original hire date, not their current hire date. So in this case, in the effective date, you could put in a new date that is not their current hire date, and they would accrue based on that date. Finally, we have this rollover type and rollover date. This is for an override where time is to roll over into another accrual balance at a specified time of year. If you'd like to use this override area, please contact your CSR for additional help. If I need to end a time off accrual record for an employee, I'm simply going to make it inactive by unchecking the check mark next to the box active. I'll get a pop-up window asking if I want to make it inactive, just to check that I'm sure, and I'll click yes. And now it's going to disappear from my grid. If I need to see that record again anytime in the future, there is a checkbox up near the top of the screen here where it says active, TOA only. That is always going to be defaulted to a check mark. But if I uncheck that box, I'm able to see any time off benefits that have been made inactive. And then I can just check that box again to go back to my default setting. The next item we're going to take a look at today in time off accrual maintenance for employees is the Show TOA History button. That's going to show us a history of the employee's time off accrual. So I can select the type from up above, whether it be on this employee personal time off or vacation. I'll go ahead and select vacation. And now I'm going to select the TOA History button. The grid that I'm looking at is going to default to view only the current quarter, but I can go backwards and look at previous time by using these date windows. So here I'm just going to change the year, and I'm going to click on refresh. And now I'm able to see all of the history from this employee. Also from this history grid, I can look at a preview in a different view, which will show me more like a form type. And then I could also print this should my employee need this record. If I don't want to print, I'm just going to close this out and back to my history, and I can go back to my details tab to see or do other maintenance. This concludes our look at the setup and maintenance of employee time off accrual. Please remember to contact your CSR anytime you have updates to your company time off policy, and changes may be needed in the company's setup in our software. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day.